Keep going. Up, down. Right. Outside. Look back. Play on. Okay, 6 more. I've got both backwards off Panthers. Okay, Wait. Go to. Outside. He's through. Go, play on. Play on. Beat him on the outside and take his dive.
Coming to the straight.
Okay, through the line. Oh, penalty.
Number 4.
Hey! Out of it! Walk away, boys!
Don't get involved, Tyler!
Out of it! Once the tackle goes above horizontally, drive into the ground, on the foot ending.
Hey, Tyler!
Straight! Hold! Go. 2.
Ground. Coming into 3.
Go up. Outside. Ooh, that's okay. Let's push. Keep going. Just a push. Keep going. Backwards. Still off. Play on. Stay out, York. Off the side. Who's passive?
No chance, good. Retreat. All on side.
Outside. Through. Outside. 4. Play on. Up. Grounded. That's play on.
Number 5. Penalty. Israel.
See what happened. 5. Israel. Yep.
16 now. Keep going.
Yep.
Ground.
No, 4. Yeah, good mate. Yep, 4. Right.
Coming into 5.
North Sydney Bears after an 0-3 start to the season. They were absolutely on fire in that first half. The Panthers, they had a late comeback, scoring 3 tries in 10 minutes, but it just was not enough to secure the points in this one. Now let's take a look at some of the key performers in our stats deep dive, starting with Asu Kepaoa. He had a try, 18 runs for 286 metres. Yes, you read that right. 78 post-contact metres, 2 tackle breaks and offload. Now, given all the contract switcheroos at the Panthers, Tom Jenkins going up on a development deal, his current contract status remains unclear, and if I'm an NRL club that needs an outside back to work hard, Kepaoa might be a name to firm back on the radar, but at the moment, he seems pretty happy in the Panthers system, doing great things in the New South Wales Cup. Then we got Billy Phillips. As we mentioned last week, he's flown under the radar in a really big way. A lot of middle forwards have left over the last couple of years, and it's given opportunities for guys like Phillips. 17 runs, 130 metres, 46 tackles. Just not ineffective, and this week he managed to play the full 80 minutes, so some good stuff there from Billy. And then we got Jesse McLean. I was touching on Kepaoa before. Take a look at some of these numbers. 9 runs to 87 metres, so the involvement's not quite there. He had a big involvement, meanwhile, for David Farley's try. He had 9 tackle breaks and always worked hard for his side in this one. I just want to see him up his carries to around about the 12 to 15 range if possible, just so he can potentially push for a first grade claim. Then we got Ben Tulty, 15 runs to 116 metres, 46 post-contact metres, 34 tackles, 1 missed. It was a game where no one really was an individual standout for the Bears, it has to be said. And again, he stood tall in the middle third, guided them around the park well, and that's why they've got back-to-back victories. Then we got Matt Stimson, 16 runs, 99 metres, 3 tackle breaks. He had 2 key one-on-one strips in this one, 40 tackles, 4 missed. For a back rower, he even forced a goal line dropout, so some great signs there for Matty Stimson. And then we got Joe Chair. Now, this is where we can get a little bit critical of players here as well. He had a big 95-metre runaway to score that try at the top of the show. He had only 6 further runs in this one for less than 50 metres. He had 18 tackles. He missed 5 out there. My only complaint for Joe Chair at the moment, needs to get more involved. If you want to be an 80-minute edge, you've got to up the workload. You've got to be really pushing yourself out there, especially against a team like the Penrith Panthers. Well, coming up next, we're going to take you out to Combank Stadium. We have a TV feature game of the week. Saw the Parramatta Eels looking to bounce back from last week's loss to Manly against another team desperate to bounce back in St George Illawarra.
Side 10, going to be straight.
Still there.
Keep going.
Keep going.
In line, pass good. And down.
Good work.
Go, 3. Side.
Still 3.
Down. Go, 2. Make sure off the ball there, Tom.
Rider good.
Yes, right.
Yep, he's onside. All good.
Go, 3.
Coley!
Okay, all good. Are you? Yeah, all good?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Right.
Go, 4.
4 retreated, 4. Push.
Offload.
Offload.
No touch to 4.
Grab clear.
I'm behind.
4. Coming in at 5.
Go, 3.
Good on 3.
Through the line.
Good ball.
Try.
Coming in at 4. Try.
Go, 4.
4.
Yep, that's what stuff.
4.
Yeah, my combination one.
4.
Yep.
4. 4.
In line. Last is fine. Down. Coming into 5. Yep. Go. 3.
3.
That's fine.
Coming in at 4. 4.
Yeah.
Fine, good.
Shoulder. Right, good. Yes. He's onside. All good, mate. Hold. Go. Forward. Wet forward. On 4. 4.
Get T on the left side first.
Yep. That's fine. Out.
Coming in at 5.
Soaring battle we had there at Combank Stadium, a 28-all draw in this one. You thought Parramatta, after that Kilma-Tuolangi try, were going to be okay, but just that bang from the Dragons gave them a bit of momentum. Bailey Simonson scoring that freakish try, and then Corey Allen doing it all himself late. Let's take a look at some of the key performers in our stats deep dive, starting with Dan Keir. He had just under 70 minutes in this one. He did come off, was going to come back on in the dying moments, but Parramatta just manipulated their changes a little bit wrong there. He had 2 tries, both of them very different sort of efforts. He had a line break assist, 4 offloads, 31 tackles, and a couple of misses as well. So a good display there from Dan Keir. Next up, we got Ronald Volkman. He had a line break assist, a try assist, 2 tackle breaks. Very good defensively out wide, forced 2 dropouts. Really did lead Para around the park very well. And then we got Ryan Madison. He played about 53 minutes in this one. He had 13 runs to 141 metres. He had a try assist off that clever grubber, 4 tackle breaks. And on the sideline, like I was at Parramatta on Saturday, his leadership for those younger forwards when he was on the bench, making sure that they continued to set platforms, was a really, really good thing to watch as well. We had a funny story on the podcast this week about Ryan Madison in this one as well, so I recommend you go check that one out. Next up, we got the Dragons' Jonah Glover. Now, I've seen Dragons fans be a little bit critical of Jonah, and I never really understood it because he had a really good game in this one. 155 metres, 2 line breaks, 6 tackle breaks, 2 line break assists, 3 try assists in a very, very solid display out there on Saturday from Mr. Glover. Their forward stocks did take a hit though. Hame Sele, Tom Eisenhoof, Connor Mulhyson, they did not finish the game. Sele only lasted 5 minutes with a hamstring injury, but what that did was it allowed guys like Finau Latu to impress. He had 63 minutes for a young bloke that's only just come into the New South Wales Cup this season. It was a monster effort. 18 runs, 166 metres, an offload, 71 post-contact metres, 5 tackle breaks, 33 tackles. And you just know that for he and for Loco, that we will touch on in a moment, that's only going to do him a whole lot of good. Speaking of Loco, he played an hour for a front row. That's pretty impressive. 12 runs, 110 metres, an offload, defended brilliantly, 91% efficiency, and 30 tackles as well. It's only going to do these kids a whole lot of good. Well, the final match on the Saturday program for the New South Wales Cup saw the winless Canberra Raiders take on the undefeated Newtown Jets. The Jets suffered plenty of late changes, but welcomed the return of Cade Dykes against a Raiders side who battled injuries themselves.
Sammy, go 3. 3. Markers. 3. Good left. Straight one to the ball. Try, mate, try! Right. Try! Yep. Oh, what? 0. 0. Okay, passes. Good ball. Comes in the 1 here. Out! Out! Go 3. 3, still 3. Still 3. Okay. Behind now. Step clutcher. All on. The contact climb. Try! Go 4. Markers are there.
Jaden on the right.
Outside 4.
Keep going on 4.
Go. Nothing late. Outside.
Okay, 14 in the middle.
Dante.
Rough, that's good.
No, backward Canberra.
Take it through.
Yeah. Knock on. There's knock on. Wait! Go. Okay. Kick. Good on right. To the ball! Good play. Clean take. Counted. Two. Side two. Keep going. Oh no. Hit this fella. Grounded. No, contact high. Hey, don't do it.
Don't. Hey, 17!
Trey.
17! Nothing to do with you, 17.
That was completely unnecessary, okay? He's ran in and escalated it multiple times. We asked him to stop and he wouldn't. Okay, he's going to the bin. Good left. Okay, he's leading the chase. Grounded. 10. Hey, get off!
Let him up.
Behind me! Hold!
Beyond.
Go, 0.
Keep retreating.
There's 10.
Okay, there's 10.
There's 10.
That was it, marker. Keep going. Got 10 now.
We're coming to 1.
Yep, still coming into 1.
Go 3, Kyle.
3.
Yeah, marker, 3.
Keep going. 3.
Grounded.
Yep.
Still 2. Yep, still 2. Offload. Still 2. Clean take.
Yep, keep going. On 2. Good. Back.
2.
All back. Starting in.
Grounding. Yeah.
Try.
Coming. Yeah. Go 4.
Good now, Rowie.
4. Contact spine.
North, what are you legs?
Go.
Go, 10.
There's 10. Still got it.
Back.
You happy with that?
Yeah, mate, keep going. Kick it through.
Through. That's the kicker. Grounded. 4.
What a performance from the Canberra Raiders in this one. You thought those 2 tries before and after halftime may have been a turning point in this game, but Canberra, they must have had a big meeting this week and said, we are not going to give up yet another second half advantage. Let's take a look at some of the key performers in our stats deep dive, starting off with Noah Martin. My goodness, what a game from him. In 80 minutes, 10 runs, 127 metres. You are not reading that wrong. He had 12 tackle breaks in this one. An absolute machine. Throwing a try assist and a line break assist, 21 tackles, only 2 missed. When you have 61% of possession, you can absolutely dominate, and Noah Martin took it with both hands. Then we got Adam Cook. He dominated the game in the halves brilliantly, needed to as well. Controlled it outstandingly, stood up massively in the absence of Ethan Sanders, who picked up that facial injury in the loss to the Roosters last week. 2 try assists, 4 tackle breaks, 3 offloads. He picked up a try there as well. Then we got Chevy Stewart. You can't discount Chevy. 12 runs, 115 metres, 9 tackle breaks, 2 offloads. He's just such a smart, instinctive fullback. Can have a rush of blood, but I think that sooner rather than later, we will see Chevy in the NRL. On a bit of a disappointing day for Newtown, we managed to pick out a bright spot, and it is fullback Cade Dykes. It is so good to see him back in the action. We saw limited opportunities because Newtown had about 39% of the football, but he had a line break, 6 tackle breaks, and was easily one of the more instinctful players for the Jets in this one. Of course, their halves, Riley Pollard, had respectfully a bit of a rough day out. It was a bit of an initiation to open age rugby league for him, and I thought he got really let down by his halfback Niwai Prulu. Made 5 tackles, missed 6 out there, and was a pretty disappointing display from Niwai, and his control of the game just wasn't quite to where he thought it would need to be. Then we got Michael Gabriel, 10 runs, 179 metres. We clipped a couple of those near chances for the Jets in this one. One of them would have given them an early 2-possession lead. You just think that it could have been a very different ball game. Defensively, he was targeted, but as I was just mentioning with Dykes, it's easy to look defensively vulnerable with 39% off the ball. I think they missed something like 60 tackles on Saturday out of Belconnen. And then we got the Hoon, Jesse Colhoun. It is so good to see this man back. 7 runs, 66 metres in a 49-metre effort. An offload, one of the more efficient Newtown starters in defence, making 23 tackles and only missing 3. Well, Sunday's round of matches kicked off at Brookvale Oval, where Manly were looking to continue their good run of form. taking on a Western Suburbs side who have been tenacious in their start to the year as well.
Good. Grounded. Into 3. Yep. Good. Wait. Charlie, wait. 4. Outside. Now. Into 5. Go 3. Markers are okay. Good on the right. Still 3. Still going. And grounded. In. Good. In the 4. Just maybe in the 4. Good. Hold. Go for Tristan up there. Come 10. Okay, Jake. Jake coming. Kick is there. Okay, thank you. Backwards. Down. Try, mate. Try. Good. Right, backwards off west and then hold go. Outside. Good. Cat down. Gets it down. Agree. Hold. Go 3. Battery feet. Outside through. And no, that's fine with support and beyond. Good. Still 3. Good. You're going still 3. And going. All right, down now. Yep. Coming into 4. I'm in the 4, mate. No, you're milking. You're holding his arm. Hold ready. Go 2. West holding on. Outside through. Still 2. Okay, I've got it down here. I have it down on this side. Off the group! Jaden! Hold! Go 3! Down. In the 4. That's it, mate. Very good line. Down. Cut into 3, mate. Coming in for 3. Go 3. 1, 3. Beyond. Find it! Yep. Yes, he gets it down, mate. Coming into 4. Other line! Go 4. Good. Down. Go 2. Outside through. Still 2. Wonka going? Yes. Okay, Sky. Good. Still 2. Good. Right one. Still 2. Coming into 3. You're offside. Get to the goal line. Pull out. Still 2. Down. Into 3. Outside. Inside shoulder. Outside. Inside shoulder. Still 4. 4. Up. Down. He's got to step right here. Yes.
Of try scoring out at Brookvale Oval. It was a try smorgasbord. A 52-26 verdict to Manly, and it was Ray Tumalalo Vaega that capitalised the most, picking up a hat-trick for the Manly side. Let's take a look now at the stats deep dive, and we're going to kick off again with Jake Arthur. Again, controlling this side so well. 4 try assists, 3 line breaks, 2 tackle breaks, and offload. Defended and kicked well around the park. This is sort of a real audition stage for Jacob Arthur at the moment, I feel, because obviously DCE leaving, all the talk around what Manly are going to do in the halves. Jake Arthur's got a real good chance this season in reserves to say, hey, I'm still around, I'm still an option if you want to consider me next season. Then we got Ray Tumalalo Vaega, the Vaega bus himself. A hat-trick, 122 metres, a line break. No, that second to last stat is not a typo. He had 13 tackle breaks in this one. Obviously, with Tommy Talau still on the sideline, there's a good chance the Vaega bus has played himself into selection for this week, going across to WA. Then we got Jacob Sykes. He had a great whole run for the try. 9 runs to 82 metres in 80 minutes. As I was saying with a couple of the other back rows before, I really want to see the back rows around that sort of 10 to 11 carry mark if possible. But still, outside of that, 5 tackle breaks, 31 tackles, just the 1 missed, 2 offloads. So some very good signs there from Jacob. Now for Western Suburbs, Kit Lau Lilly, 44 minutes in the middle. He had 10 runs, 114 metres, 3 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks, an offload, 16 tackles, just a 1 miss in a very good Western Suburbs display from Kit Lau Lilly there. He's been a bit up and down, but Good to see him back on track there. Solomon Tape, yes, he had a bit of a nightmare last week, and he also had a bit of a defensive struggle against the Vaega bus on his edge of the field. But about that though, 112 metres, 2 line breaks, 6 tackle breaks, had some classy moments in and amongst them as well, but Western Suburbs, just that class difference in this game was what really costed them. And it was good to see Tim Johansson back as well in 34 minutes, 3 offloads, 7 runs, 63 metres, 19 tackles, 2 missed, in what was a very sound return from Mr. Johansson. Well, now we're going to Redfern Oval, where the typical rivalry between the Rabbitohs and the Roosters goes into focus. Souths haven't won since round 1, while the Roosters are looking for back-to-back victories. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Oh, nothing late. Playing on. Still 5, kick in, man. Coming to 6.
All good, mate. All good. Coming in
all
to
good.
6.
Last go! Wait, Lewis, cuts and get rid of it. Hold, go.
Coming into 6, mate. All good.
Oh, there Roosters. Hold. Where go to?
2.
Down.
Mate, good on you.
Coming to 3. Go. Kick. All good. Happy on side? Yep. Hold. Go for it. 4. Outside. 4.
Keep going on 4. Granny. Happy, mate. Stays in. Coming into 5.
Ashwin, hold on! The goal line! No! Go 2.
Coming into 3, mate.
Walking away with back-to-back victories, taking care of South Sydney by 14 points. The Rabbitohs started each half of a try, but 2 tries by the Roosters in each half was just enough to walk away with the chocolates in this fixture. Now let's see who were the best performers in our stats deep dive, and starting with South Sydney, Terrell Cullo. Now, this name does ring a bell for some people. He was in the New South Wales under-19s back in the 2022 fixture. He's had some injuries since then, but he started to play some really good football for South Sydney. 22 runs, 165 metres, got the try assist for Daniel O'Donnell, had 6 tackle breaks in this one, 7 kicks defused, was easily his best game in open age rugby league. Now for Ryan Gray, 11 runs to 80 metres, a forced dropout, 3 offloads, 37 tackles, just the 1 miss. He's such a consistent New South Wales Cup player, and I really love watching him go around each week. Then we got Carson Carho, a game high, 228 metres from 22 runs, a try, 78 post-contact metres, a line break, was solid defensively. I'll touch on Lewis Dodd here as well. I thought he was a little bit quiet in this one. He did have a heavy involvement for the first try, but it looks like he will miss NRL selection once again, with Wayne Bennett opting for Latrell Mitchell, training at 5'8", Jaden Sullivan in there at half-back. Meanwhile, for the Roosters, the big talking point, Hugo Savala was pulled from the game this week. Of course, he is a very heavy chance to play in the halves with Chad Townsend, and potentially featuring in our lower grade wrap next week. How quickly the tide turns there. Meanwhile, for Jake Elliott, though, the number 9, he ran over 100 metres, a great individual try, such an instinctive running game, a line break, a try assist offload, had 24 tackles, just the 1 miss. He's a very handy player, Jake Elliott, and I really like watching him run around. Speaking of ones that South Sydney might regret letting go of, rather. It's a 17 Ethan Roberts. He had 51 minutes in the middle third, 7 runs to 68 metres, a try, a line break, 4 tackle breaks, 29 tackles, just missing the 3 in this one. And then we got Owen Flaherty. He was the Jersey Flag Player of the Year last year for the Roosters. 166 metres from 21 runs. He picked up a try assist through quick hands out right. Finally getting to see Tyrese Tate in the clear. And then we also had 2 line break assists, 4 tackle breaks. He did very well at the back for Ethan King. Well, the final game of the round takes us out to Accor Stadium at Sydney Olympic Park, where the Bulldogs look to get their year back on track against a night side fresh off their bye.
Yep. Good. 3 on. Coming into 4.
Go to Tom, that's where.
He's on 10, play on. Offload 2. Offload 2. Play on. Behind it. 4. 2. Yeah, I'm good. Offload 2. Down. Coming into 3. Let him up, Lewis. Step. Yep. Down. Coming into 4. All good. Go 3. Drew! Yep.
Keep going.
Down.
6 more.
Yeah, coming into 4. Go 2.
Line's good.
Outside is Drew.
Knock on.
Knock on.
Keep going. 0 coming.
Yep.
Beyond.
Contact okay.
Get off! Go!
Beyond.
Go, 0.
Confirm 0 and beyond.
Jake. Timing. Zion.
Drew's good.
Zion. All
Yeah.
back.
Run 10.
Julian.
Down. Coming into 1.
In the 1.
Go last. Nothing right. Clear.
Okay, right, good. Middle needs 10. Keep going, not chasing.
Contest, still last. Still last. Down. Coming into 6.
Ken. Always outside.
Good.
Knock on. 0 coming.
Behind it.
Bulldogs 4. Keep going.
Coming into 0.
Yes, confirm 0.
Down.
Grounded.
Here we are.
Go, cut
Wait.
here.
Go 2.
Yes, in the middle.
Yep.
Keep going. On 2.
Walk behind it.
Yep. Line's up. Keep going. Still 2.
Down.
Down.
Coming into 3. 1. Oh, sorry. Walk it.
Still 1.
Down. Coming into 2. Hey! Go 3. Outside. Goes through. 3. Still going. Let him up. Coming into 4. Go last. Fire! Surrender! Dude!
About these Bulldogs, hey? Blake Wilson in the final 5 minutes called game to get the Bulldogs over the line by 2 points for their first win in a couple of outings. Meanwhile, for the Knights, they'll be thinking about the one that got away in this one. Let's start off with the stats deep dive. Cassius Tia, named at centre, played at 6 again this week. Drew Hutchison was out in the centres, dominated the kicking game, really led the team around well. Couple of line break and try assists, 2 offloads, 14 tackles, 3 missed. As a bit of a Roosters fan myself, I am a little bit hurt seeing Cassius Tia dominate at the moment because he was in the Roosters pathway for a little while, but it's good to see him kicking goals in the next level. Next up, we got Curtis Moran. He had 73 minutes in the middle third, 152 metres, 3 offloads, 35 tackles, 3 missed. A very solid display from Moran, running hard, but also playing a bit of a link role, engaging the line in the middle third. So maybe that's sort of the message he's getting from Cameron Ciraldo, to be a little bit more of a link man. But I think he always works best when you just get him in there for 20, 25 minutes at first grade level, and you just get him to tuck and run, because that's where we've seen Curtis Moran really shine for Canterbury. But he's doing a job in this New South Wales Cup side, that's for sure. Then we got Blake Wilson. It's the unfortunacy of rugby league, because he's the odd man out in this Canterbury back 5. He didn't do anything wrong per se. It's just the way the depth chart is at the moment that he is odd man out per se. Did have 18 runs for 140 metres at fullback, 2 line breaks, 8 tackle breaks. He did score the game-winning try, so he did have the final laugh in this one. Now for the Knights, we got Francis Malalailua, and he had 80 minutes on the edge in this one. 15 runs, 133 metres, 2 line breaks, a try assist. He had 8 tackle breaks on the edge. He had 3 offloads, similar to another Penrith youngster who's played in the New South Wales Cup this year, Wilson De Courcy. He's come down from Penrith, and he's really made a big difference in the way that this Newcastle side's play. So top marks there to Francis Malalailua. Now we got Kyle McCarthy, 16 runs for 133 metres, 2 line breaks, a line break assist, a try assist, 4 tackle breaks, 3 offloads. He's such a versatile sort of player. You can play him out wide in the centres, he's got the pace to do that, but you can also play him as a back row. He's a bit of a hybrid. We spoke to Danny Badiris about him last year, and he shared a very similar sentiment to us and says that a second row conversion is likely, similar to a couple of these New South Wales Cup graduates like Dylan Lucas, for example, started in the across the centre back row. He's doing really good things at the moment. And then you've got Tom Cant as well, who's played across those two positions. And then you got Tyrone Thompson, 44 minutes, 11 runs to 98 metres, 32 post-contact metres, 2 offloads, 24 tackles, 3 missed. Leo might be going, but Tyrone is certainly holding his own. Meanwhile, it's time to take a look at this week's New South Wales Cup Team of the Week. For round 5, we've got Chevy Stewart at fullback after that great game at Belconnen. Ray Tumalalo Vaega, the Vaega bus with 13 tackle breaks on one wing. Jonathan Sewer, who we didn't see in the stat package, he had a great game. He also ended up on the sting. Solomon Fatape and Kyle McCarthy in the centres. Jay Carper at 5'8". Jonah Glover is our halfback. The forwards, Ethan Roberts and Curtis Moran up front. Billy Scott is the hooker. Francis Marnalela and Noah Martin in the back row. Yep, Noah Martin with those tackle breaks. Of course, he had to be there. And Billy Phillips locking the scrum. The bench, Adam Cook, Matt Stimson, Dan Keir, and Jacob Sykes. Now, what we're going to do is take a look at this week's Player of the Week, Jonah Glover. Now, Glover had a really good game. He's had a really consistent season so far. And I've seen Dragon supporters be very critical of Glover, and I have not really understood it. I know they've got young Cade Reed in the works at the moment. He's sort of the next man up. That is the future of the halves there. But if Shane Flanagan senses a chance to change these halves, the way Glover, the way King Toiga are playing at the moment, they're certainly pressing their cases very, very strongly. He had 3 try assists in this one. His running game is very instinctive. That's something the Dragons halves lack a little bit at the moment. Just that picking when to run the football. Glover exposed the defence several times on Saturday afternoon at Combank Stadium, and is our deserved player of the round. Well, now we're going up north to Queensland, and we're kicking off at Seabus Super Stadium, where the Tweed Seagulls are looking to bounce back from last week's late loss to Ipswich against the Papua New Guinea Hunters, who are looking for back-to-back wins and their first win in Australia for 2025.
Nine, get out! 1 4 Hunters! Back foot, Sonny! Wait. Go, 3. Okay, right edge early, 1 metre. Goal! Down. Yeah, made him. Go. James, make the line. Content. Keep going. Pass is good. Contact clear. Down. Stop grounding. Contact clear. Good. Outside. Defensive from Linden. Keep going. Down. Got a defensive decision. The ball outside, and Linden commits. Go 2. Here, no, JJ. Ball down, mate. Until 3. Oh, yard. Okay, I've got a penalty that. Take your time here. Take your number 4. It's forced in and came this direct contact with the shoulder to the head. It's an important 10 minutes. Keep going, mate, until 2. Up good. Down. Goes in. On your side. Good now. Going, still 4. Offload, keep coming. Back with 4. Break! 6 well early. Go! Number 5, right. Go! You're early, mate. Oh! 2. I'm good. Outside. Keep going. Yeah. All good, mate. Go 2. Good one, mate. Outside. Outside. All good, mate. Oh! Go 1. Line's good. Knock on, mate. Keep going. Yeah, up, ball down. Grounding. Yeah, tackle. Really coming.
From the Tweed Seagulls, the Papua New Guinea Hunters just way too strong in this one to go for back-to-back wins and their first win in Australia for 2025. Let's take a look at some of the key performers in our stats deep dive, starting with Zane Harrison on Queensland Cup debut, a talented young half with all the wraps on him at the moment. He had a try, 5 tackle breaks and offload, was very good at defence, and he kicked the ball around the park well. He's one that Titans fans should put in their black book and have a very firm eye on for the future. A very talented young prospect, Zane Harrison. Then we've got JJ Collins, who you may know who is JJ Felice. He played with the Tigers, among other clubs. He's in the Queensland Cup with Tweed this year. He played 44 minutes in this one. 15 runs for 144 metres, 7 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, tackled at 84% efficiency, and got that late try to make things just a little bit interesting. Then we got Luke Burden. He was on trainer trial this year with the Titans. He had 184 metres in this one, 54 post-contact metres. He tackled at about 90%. He's such a reliable player for Tweed at the moment, and it's something that this team needs, every team needs, to be honest with you. They need a reliable, Mr. Consistent front rower, and they've certainly got that this year. Moving on to Papua New Guinea, and we go to Sunny Wabo at the back. Absolutely incredible stuff here. 10 tackle breaks, 2 offloads, 188 metres from 19 runs, 3 line breaks, and a hat-trick. A real individual effort from Sunny Wabo to get his team home in this one. For next up, Solo Wane. He had a try, 8 tackle breaks of his own, 207 metres, 2 line breaks, such a ball carrier, and a very good asset for this team. We spoke last week about their forwards needing to lift up. We haven't really mentioned their backs much this year. The fullback and the winger just say hi on my beer, to be honest with you. And then we finish up with Jamie Mavoko. He had a line break assist, a try assist, a couple of offloads, 100% tackle efficiency for a half. Great control in a game that could have gone away from PNG amidst the chaos with a couple of sim biddings in this one. Well, next up, we're getting ready to take you to Ipswich, where the Jets are looking to hope to keep their undefeated start alive against a Burleigh side that, until last week, struggled in second halves.
They're starting beyond.
Right, good. Play on, play on. One coming.
Ball down.
Good, mate.
Tackle, Sam. Get up.
Oh,
early.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good, mate.
Up. Hold. Go. 4. Down. Ball's down. One motion. All one motion. Go. 1. Down.
Sure you're happy with one motion, Dan?
Yeah, mate.
Happy,
All
mate.
momentum. Right. One's good. Thanks, mate. Outside defensive.
Play
Play
on,
on.
no tackles. Short.
Okay, up we get. Let's go. Hold line. Wait.
Hold, Julian, hold.
Wait. Go. 2.
Try, mate, he's down. Yes, try.
Go.
Take
Good.
forward.
Down.
Good, mate.
Go. 3.
Up, up. Down, mate, down. Stop ball, yeah. Watch it on the ground. Watch it on the ground, Dan.
Down.
Good, mate.
Yeah, 3. Up we get. Square. Here. 10. Hold.
Oh,
Go. 4. Outside. Oh, penalty.
penalties, number 7.
I need you to say, pass is well gone. Absolutely no genuine attempt and high force on report. Go. 1.
Right, 12's out of play, 20 metres.
Man, pull your middle, mate. A
12's
metre.
out of play.
We're beyond. All down.
Is picking up another victory in this one by 20 points. They started so well once again, but again, Burleigh, you just let teams back in the game. When you saw Ryan Foran go over it, it was 16. You thought, hang on a minute, don't tell me they're going to do it again. But fortunately, they were able to hang on for victory. It has come at a cost, though, with Josh Rogers picking up a quite serious leg injury. We clipped it in the highlight package there as well. But let's move on to our stats deep dive, starting with Oliver Pascoe. 80 minutes, he had a line break assist, just under 100 metres, 3 offloads, a game-high 34 tackles. So Pascoe is doing some great work in the middle third for the Jets, and his experience and the way he's playing the game at the moment is something that will just allow other players to thrive off. Next up, Ryan Foran, the Titans contracted player, 56 minutes, 6 carries, for 94 metres, 3 tackle breaks, picked up a try. Real key experience player this year, he had 20 tackles, 2 missed. Then we got Josh Paxton, a game high, 129 metres, 55 post-contact metres, 3 tackle breaks, 24 tackles, 2 missed. We can debate the sim bin all we want, but it was a bad play from an experienced player. Something has to clean up. Next up, Cole Guyer. He had 55 minutes, 2 tries, picked his moments when to run from dummy half, 7 tackle breaks, 26 tackles, only missing the 1. Then we got Kurt DeLuey, our man from North Sydney last year, 12 runs for 118 metres, 43 post-contact metres, 21 tackles, just missing the 1 tackle there as well. And you think with all these experienced forwards, Burleigh gone. We'll touch on Matt Colner in a moment, but he is such a good get for Burleigh to bring in DeLuey, and he is playing some really, really classy football. Then we got Matt Colner. How good is it to see this guy back? We thought when he got injured in the trials, he looked great there. We thought, oh no, they've picked up a major injury, but he's back on the field and he's doing some good things. He had 42 minutes, a try, a line break, 9 runs for 88 metres, 22 tackles, 2 missed, and just the 1 ineffective, so some good stuff there. Well, we're going to keep the show rolling over to KO Stadium, where the Dolphins host the Clydesdales.
Back foot.
Hold that line.
Wait in. Hold 4. Wait. Go 4.
Keep going. Good, mate.
Hold
Hold
it.
it.
Hold!
Hold.
36. Yeah. Go 3. Back to line 12. No time.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Quick. Wait. Go 4.
Go 10-6. And 4.
Yeah.
Just watching me out. Watching me out.
They go. Wait. 3.
Good.
3.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Cool.
Well, good watching.
1. Go 10, 12. Defensive. Yeah. Goes in on him. Hold.
Wait.
2.
Good.
On the mark, 14. Yeah, great.
Good. Good.
Good. Keep going. All good.
Grounded, mate. You're good.
Pump. Hold here.
Wait.
Go 4. Defensive. Keep going. Clear. What's that play? Number 80 up.
Just leave it.
Very impressive in the second half of this one, running away with 4 tries just to prove way too strong for the Clydesdales, who did lead 10-0, but those late 2 tries just before halftime were quite the difference in this one. Now let's move ahead to our stats deep dive. And starting off with the Redcliffe Dolphins, Zachariah Miles at fullback picked up a double, 16 runs to 203 metres, 3 line breaks, 5 tackle breaks, his first real breakout game for 2025. The former fullback with the Sunshine Coast Falcons doing some really nice things. Dan Torre Louis was up next, the 5'8". He had 2 line break assists, 3 try assists, 2 tackle breaks. Defended brilliantly out wide, even though the Clydesdales didn't throw much at them. Defended didn't know, which is what you need. The former Pride pivot had made a good start to life at Redcliffe. Eric Smith poached a couple of them. You got Will Partridge there, he was 18th man in this one. And then Nat McGavin, amongst others, he brought down from Cairns. And then we got All Blacks Tower, a try, a line break, 137 metres, 96%. And then he's going to be a consistent force this season, I think, because origin period and a couple of injuries, Tower could very well make his case for a first grade call-up. Then we're going to kick off with the Clydesdales. Pat O'Callaghan, he had 48 minutes in this one, 13 runs, 81 metres of tackle breaks, the sole offload for the Clydesdales. He had 29 tackles, he did miss 3 though in the middle third. Then we got Corey Fetting, he had 12 runs for 114 metres, he always worked so hard out of his own end. He had 2 tackle breaks, had some rough moments in defence with the Dolphins really capitalising on it in this one. Finishing off, Heath Gibbs, he upped his work rate to 8 runs this week. He still needs to probably get around that 10 to 12 mark, I think. He's got such a great versatile frame on him, but he did defensively hold his own. He had 29 tackles, no missed, a line break, a tackle break, and that pretty spectacular dive for his try. Well, we're going to set to take you now to our next game, where the Townsville Blackhawks look to keep their undefeated start alive against the Central Queensland Capras.
Outside, through, defensive, through, ball, catch, down. Down, good, mate. Very good. Coming in the through. Push off. offload. Backwards,
Still
4.
4.
Still 4. Play on. No obstruction, 4. Defensive. 4. 4. Play on.
Keep going, still 4.
4. Play on 4. Keep going. 4. Play on 4. Grounded. Coming into 5. All good. Go. Not late. Outside. Outside. Ball. Keep going. Flips over. Still last. Backwards. Keep going. Try. Bounce the ball. Coming into 6. Happy. Thanks.
Hold it!
Hold.
Hold!
Go. Kick. Good. Catch. Down. Coming into 6, mate. All good. Mate. Go for Elijah. Come 10. Middle. Down. Coming in the last. Yeah, mate.
All good.
Give room!
Back foot! Hold!
Go. Good line. 3. Down. Let him go. Play the ball. Wait for the go call. Go. 4. Outside. 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 It's through 4. Down. Coming in the 5. We're good.
Happy, mate.
That's the hooter. Last play.
Good.
Knock on and goal. Knock on. Nathan.
Hey! Keeper! Keeper! Hey! Keeper!
Wait.
There's no need for it.
Break.
They just find a way to keep on winning. Terry Gambezi's definitely building the right stuff there. 20 points to 18. An interesting name amongst the scorers is Caden Lars. He and Asori Lenoy Sam, some of those Cowboys youngsters we mentioned earlier in the year, they're getting a run as part of the Blackhawks. So it looks like a bit of a truce is forming up north, which is very positive to see. Well, now let's look at some of the key players in our stats deep dive, starting with the Townsville Blackhawks and Dudley Dutoy. Once again, a double. He had 11 runs for 114 metres, 5 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks, a strong performance, and he is lightning in open pace. And then we've got the halves. Jack Campagnola had a line break assist, 2 try assists. Since returning from his stint with the London Broncos, it has been his mission to guide the Blackhawks in this one. 23 tackles, 2 missed. And then we've got Bailey Biondioto. He spent the train and trial summer period with the South Sydney Rabbitohs. He's been a bit injured, but he's come back in style. He had good support play for his try. He picked his moments when to run. 2 line break assists, 2 try assists, and he tackled at about a 90% efficiency rate, which is what you want from your halves. Moving on now to the Capras, and we got Blake Moore. He had 14 of his side's 18 points, 5 tackle breaks, 2 tries, and offload, 93% tackle efficiency. He couldn't do any more to that help his side. Then we got Francis Mola. He got 37 minutes in his comeback appearance in rugby league. He got a barge over try, 754 metres, 100% tackle efficiency, but we've got to be honest, as a first grader, you want to come back and just get back into the groove of things. He'll be pretty disappointed with this hit out, and we'll be looking to go a bit bigger next week. Then we got Nixon Put, 22 runs to 200 metres. Townsville definitely studied the video and targeted him in defence. He was definitely made a bit of an example of down that side of the field. 4 offloads, a line break, and a try assist though, nonetheless. Well, we're continuing our Northern theme. We're going to go up to Mackay now, where the Cutters take on the winless Northern Pride. Just a heads up for this one, the audio is absolutely abysmal, so we have muted it, and you can watch the highlights in peace. Jal late there with a 4-point win over the Northern Pride. And again, our apologies for the lack of audio in that game. We tried to reduce it and then not reduce it, and it was just an absolute editor's nightmare. So we decided the best way to do it was just to mute it, and you guys can watch it in your own unique way. So now we can look at the stats deep dive, starting off with the Mackay Cutters and Tom McKaylee. 64 minutes in this one, 12 runs for 127 metres, 59 post contact metres, 28 tackles, just one ineffective. Had a massive 48-minute stint to start before a final 15-minute stint. So if you're looking for a sign for a front rower that he might be pushing, they definitely delivered it in this one. Then you got Brandon Russell in a game that was in many ways uninspiring. 13 runs for 109 metres, 2 tackle breaks and offload, 29 tackles, 1 missed. Helped guide Mackay's middle stocks in a 45-minute spell. Then we got Raiden Burns, a match-winning try, 12 runs, 114 metres, a line break, 4 tackle breaks. Came to Mackay via Canberra a few seasons ago and has seemingly found a home. For the Pride, Dane Orca-Folau, 15 runs, 153 metres, 73 of them were post-contact, a line break, 4 tackle breaks, 20 tackles, only missing 2, so some good signs there. Then we got Marley Bidungane. He only had the 9 runs for 88 metres in the 44-minute stint. Did have 2 tries, which resulted in 7 tackle breaks, a couple of offloads, 21 tackles, just the 1 missed, exactly what you want from Mr. Bidungane. And then you got Campbell Duffy, 17 runs, 160 metres, 4 tackle breaks, 2 offloads, 24 tackles, 3 missed. Came from a premiership winning system at the Devils, trying to bring some standards in for this Pride side, but at the moment, they are struggling, winless for the opening bit of this Queensland Cup season. And just a side note on Zach Laban, he had a really quiet game in this one. You want your outside backs to be involved, and I think Todd Payton will be having a quiet word or 2 or 3 with his young outside back if he's looking to push for NRL selection. Well, Sunday saw our Q Plus cameras go out to Totally Workwear Stadium, where the Brisbane Tigers were looking to forget last week's horror show in Port Moresby against the Sunshine Coast Falcons.
Noah Tapu only inches away. They go short now. The Tigers are going to score first. They're over. Sherwin Tanabe. This time they go outer side. Noah Tapu again. Wood with the flick on. Earlier ball this time in the corner. Leon to Howe. Welcome to the Hostplus Cup. Ciolo, the co-captain. And Burns to Oldham close to the line. Niahana Oldham spins and plants the ball down, and that'll get the Falcons going. 10 away. Noah Tapu. Taj Wood. Wood still going. Twisting, turning. Gets there. Taj Wood. 15 points to 6. No change to the halftime score. Sutton. Hunter. Pump. Dummy. Cody Hunter. Inside pass. Joseph Vitae. And the Falcons are back. The rampaging machine that is Joseph Vitae gets them right back in this contest. Let's head down to the sideline. Here's Adam Jackson. And they're away, the Falcons. We're going to stay with the play here. Zion Johnson. Cover defence was needed.
Chased down by Hamana.
Yeah, Hamana it was. And now Vitae wants a second. And did he get there? Joseph Vitae. He did. 2 tries in 2 minutes. Out. Here come the Tigers. Riley Jacks. Had Stimson on the inside. Noah Tapu. And Vaha Pulu, who was met by Gideon Afamui. Got the offload away. Tanabe couldn't get the last pass. I think it was Cody Hunter. Was that a try saver? It's play on here. And they're claiming the try, the Tigers. Halfway through their set, 40 out from their own line. Kane Bradley from dummy half.
Oh, break and tackle.
And beats 2 and Kane Bradley into open pastures. Inside the final minute, 2 tackles in this set for the Tigers. Jackson Cheng, they go towards the sideline. Josh Smith. Still going, Josh Smith. Smith, can he go all the way?
Win of the season after a draw and a loss to start the year. And it was a good performance indeed from the Tigers in this one. The Sunshine Coast Falcons, after an opening round win, have been a little bit troublesome in this season so far. Let's move to the stats deep dive, and we kick off with fullback Taj Wood. 21 runs, 198 metres, 2 line breaks, 7 tackle breaks. He was so impactful in the final, attacking 20 for the Tigers, and was a nice way to bring up win number 1 for 2025. Then we got Josh Smith. Yes, we do have the right picture this week. Thanks to those for letting us know. He had the game-sealing try late. 18 runs for 184 metres, 70 post-contact metres, 6 tackle breaks. Defensively, quite sound as well. And then we finish up with front rower Sam Wallace. It's nice to not have Joe Stimson this week, because another front rower stood up and decided to run with him. He had 58 minutes, 13 runs, 104 metres, 2 tackle breaks, 2 offloads, 22 tackles at 81% efficiency. Exactly what you want. Well, now onto the Sunshine Coast Falcons, and it is Joseph Vitae, the back rower on Q Cup debut. A double, 9 runs, 74 metres, 3 tackle breaks, a solid base to build upon for the former Queensland country representative. Then we got Kobe Hunter, a good running game once again, a line break, try assist, great in defence at 90% efficiency, forced 2 dropouts with his boot as well. Exactly what you want to see from your halfback, especially without their NRL players there. Finally, we have Gideon Afamui. Now, this is his maiden Queensland Cup game for the man that was born in San Francisco. 14 runs, 154 metres, 2 line break assists, 4 tackle breaks, 2 offloads. Defensively, it was a tough watch. It was about a 50% efficiency rather, 7 missed tackles. So a bit of room to work on there for Gideon, but it was a nice base at the same time. With the ball, without the ball is where that improvement has to be. Well, Sunday's match saw us take a trip out to BMD Kurai Oval as the winner Manly Seagulls took on the South Logan Magpies. Let's take a look at all the highlights for our final game of the day.
Outside. 2. Rounded. Into 3. Go 4, Marcus there. 4. Forward. Down. Into 5. Yep. Good. 2. I'm good. Into 3. Good. Yep. 52. 14 and 3. He's gone down with him. 14, 3. Play on. Lock on. Keep going, keep going. 0, 0. Forward, 0 coming. Yep, upper ball pass. Yep. Beyond here. Still on 0. Let him up now, let him up! Get up now! Get up, wait! Alright, this 3 good. 0, 3 good. Nothing's good. Try. Into 1. Good. Go 3. Mine's good. Yep, good. Go last. Play on. Round it. Good though. Go 3. The push. Keep going. Good though. Hold Josh. Go 3. 3. And down. 4 down. Yep. Into 4. Wait. Go 1. Good kid. Inside through. Go last. Mine's good. 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 No, you're doing that. You're doing that. Go 4.
Ruthless from winner Manly. 54 points in this one. Just obliterating South Logan. I thought that try just after halftime would give enough confidence for South Logan, but Wynnum said, "Nope, They got 2 tries quickly after the break to put themselves in a very, very sound position in this game. And for Souths Logan, for Carmichael Hunt, they're back to the drawing board really quickly. Let's take a look at some of the players in the stats deep dive. Jock Madden, 2 try assists, much improved defensively. Go back a couple of weeks, we pinpoint his defence as a little bit of a concern. Massive improvement in this one. If Adam Reynolds isn't going to be fit to play, Jock Madden will do a good job regardless. A line break assist, 2 try assists, he had over 100 metres as well. Next up, the young talented hooker Cam Bukowski. He had a double, 2 line breaks, 4 tackle breaks, 20 tackles, 2 missed, chose his moments, went to run, out of dummy half, exactly what you want from a young hooker. But as we say every week, there's a surplus of hookers at Brisbane at the moment. Then we got Benny Allen. He had a try, 33 minutes, 6 runs for 60 metres, 5 tackle breaks. If you want an impact stint, Benny Allen took it seriously. Now we move on to South Logan, and it's Martin Tapa'u. 10 runs for 124 metres, 51 post contacts, 2 tackle breaks, an offload, 22 tackles, about 2 misses in this one. And he's also earned himself an NRL recall. Unlike Ben Takura, he had a try, 46 minutes, 8 runs for 83 metres, 3 tackle breaks, 16 tackles, no misses. Just needs to pick up a little bit more of the work rate, does Mr. Takura. And then we got Israel Leota, 8 runs for 129 metres, a line break assist, and 5 tackle breaks in this one. I would love to see Leota get to around that 10 to 12 carry range. That's sort of where you want your outside backs to be. So that's the only critique I have on Israel Leota at the moment. But it's time to see which players made this week's Hostplus Cup Team of the Week. To this week's Team of the Week, we got Sonny Wabo at fullback for the Papua New Guinea Hunters, Zachariah Miles and Josh Smith on the wings, Oscar Anazio and Nixon Putt in the centres, Jock Madden and Zane Harrison in the halves, the forwards, JJ Collins and Marley Bitangane, Cole Guy of a hooker, and then you got Orbix Tower and Sheldon Pitama, the Redcliffe duo in the back row. Campbell Duffy for the Northern Pride is our lock. The bench of Taj Wood, Cam Bukowski, Joe Stimson, and Matt Collin. The thing I love about this week's Team of the Week, have a look at how many NRL top 30 contracted players there are. There are hardly any of them. So that shows that those part-time players, those players outside and external to NRL training, are going and ripping in, and that's what we love to see. On to our player of the round, and it is Sonny Wabo of the Papua New Guinea Hunters. Just go back and look at that highlight package. He was in absolutely everything. And for a fullback, for a young player from Papua New Guinea, these are sort of things the dreams are made of. And you love to see Sonny Wabo get in there, do his thing every single week, because you know it's going to be highlight plus. And you know the people back in Papua New Guinea watching that game, he may have just had a couple more idols looking after him after this one. Well, that concludes this week of the lower grade wrap. Round 5 has come and gone. We're already 5 weeks through our program. Again, a massive thanks to everyone for your company. Again, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes in our lower grade wrap every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. And of course, if you have any feedback for the show, leave it down in the comments below. I'm AJ Luke Antonio on behalf of the entire League Scene team. We'll see you next week. Take care and goodbye.